But if we could understand the words they're using in the context that they're using, maybe we will hear poetry. You know, there's beauty in it, what they're able to communicate. Okay, so a lot of people ask about the BHARCS way and how we're different, and I think it's hard to articulate, but I'm going to give an example and maybe I'll make a little bit more sense. So when we get an animal home, there are many attitudes that one can have. One way is to kind of look at an animal and get very fascinated with this animal, this dog, for whatever the animal is, this amazing little animal that I think will be so great to bring home, and I just love this animal, right? I want to bring the animal home, and I want to have this animal closer to me and enjoy the animal for what the animal is. And the other is to have a kind of a romanticized idea of what the animal is. Like in the case of a dog, sadly a lot of these romanticized ideas come from Hollywood. So I call the Walt Disney dog, right? Or television shows, and we have an idea of what we think a dog should be. And then we get the animal home and we try to train the animal into be fitting into that mold, that picture that we have. And we're very good at training animals. We really are. I mean, we've kind of boiled it down to a science. So we're very good at it, and we can get them to be what we want them to be. I mean, if look at the kind of things we train animals to do, all kinds of animals, not just dogs. Dogs are highly trainable, but even animals that are so-called non-trainable, we can get them to be whatever. But then we're not really excited about what they are. We are excited about our mental picture of what we think they should be, and that's what we're excited about. And we're not seeing what's in front of us. We're not kind of filled with that curiosity and fascination for what we are seeing, right? It's like looking at a flower and saying, I love the flower, but I would like it in like a different color. So I'm going to like do something else. So then you're not seeing it for what it should be. In recent times, there's been a lot of excitement about what we can teach animals to do, right? What we can teach them to communicate. So there's a lot of giving them objects that they can manipulate, buttons that they can press, ways in which they can communicate English words or whatever language it's done in, but mostly English. And we are fascinated with, oh my God, the dog can talk. The dog understands words, 100 words, 200 words, 600 words, whatever it is. Parrots get it, chimpanzees get it, and we're very fascinated by all that. And it is fascinating. It absolutely is fascinating. We are seeing that a lot of animals are able to engage in not just words, but innovate with words, syntax, and all of it. Now, all of that is fascinating. But to me, the cognitive ethology angle of it, not what we can train, but what they're capable of. So if you look at for example how dogs communicate, and definitely we should get that video of Chiru and Blackie, and we should put it there, just so people can see what they are capable of communicating. They have such a wide repertoire. They have 7-8 different kinds of barks, several other kinds of vocalizations, whining, howling, growling, whimpering. Howling is so fascinating. We still haven't understood what howling really is. Is it distance communication? Does it travel? What is the role it plays? And then body language and facial expressions. And what's interesting is it's not just a set of signs or even symbols, but different animals will choose to use, different dogs will choose to use this in different contexts. There's a preference. So if you see that video of Chiru and Blackie, you can see that they, for certain contexts, certain set of signals or symbols seem to be more relevant, and they have a kind of circle between them. They will go back and forth. So there is clearly some context there, and they're playing around with the alphabet of their language. And if we can begin to understand that, we don't seem to be as fascinated, in the scientific community in general doesn't seem to be as fascinated by that as what we can get them to learn. When we get them to use English words, it's going to always be a little clumsy kind of a usage of it. But if we could understand the words they're using in the context that they're using, maybe we will hear poetry. There's beauty in it, what they're able to communicate, how they're able to, it's like when we do word to, language translations, right? If you can hear it in the language that it is being said, it can sound so beautiful, but when you translate it to another language, it almost sounds, I don't know, unimpressive. Yeah, I mean, great, you've written something, okay, I get like the gist of it, but the beauty of the language is lost. And I think that's the difference really, and that's where we come from with BHARCS, is to really, we are fascinated with and we are committed to uncovering or observing and understanding what they are capable of rather than what they're capable of learning from us. This talks to our strength, right? What can I teach? It's very kind of egocentric, right? What can I teach? A lot of what we train them to do, yes, it does show off their skills a little bit, but largely we're showing off our skills. But if we are paying attention to what they're capable of learning, what they're capable of, cognitively what they're capable of, I think something far more fascinating can emerge. And having that fascination, inculcating that fascination in our students, inculcating that fascination, kind of lighting up that fascination within our audience, I think that's that's my vision for BHARCS. That's really what I want to achieve for BHARCS. And I definitely want to explore this idea more in different contexts, not just communication. We see that in problem solving, we see that in several other spaces. That's something I want to explore more, so maybe we'll do some more videos on that, but this is the gist of, I think, what the BHARCS way is.